Have you ever taken a sip or bite of something and the flavour hits you so hard? It's familiar and delicious, but you can't quite place it because it's never been quite like this before. This tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You get a sweet, sharp berry hit followed by a roasted nuttiness, and it lingers in your mouth. It's like you just took a spoonful of peanut butter, but you're drinking a crystal clear cocktail. Today, I'm going to show you how to transform ordinary spirits into extraordinary ingredients using techniques that sound complicated, but are actually surprisingly simple. Because when you understand how alcohol works as a solvent, you get access to a whole new world of flavors. So how did I get peanut butter flavor into the bourbon without any greasiness? It all comes down to understanding what alcohol actually is. Ethanol, the alcohol we drink, is a special kind of solvent. Most solvents are either polar, like water, or non-polar, like oil. But alcohol has both, a polar end and a non-polar end. And this is crucial because most flavor compounds are non-polar. They dissolve in fat, not water. That brown butter flavor, it's locked up in the fat. Same with peanut butter, coconut oil, bacon fat. But alcohol's non-polar end can extract those fat-soluble flavors and pull them into the liquid while leaving almost all the fat behind. The trace amounts of fat that are dissolved into the alcohol add richness and body. For peanut butter wash bourbon, I'm smearing about 3 ounces of peanut butter around the inside bottom half of a mason jar. You want to maximize the contact between the peanut butter and the liquid. It's also great use for an almost empty jar of peanut butter. Now I'm going to add 10 ounces of the bourbon. Seal it and swirl gently. You don't want to shake it because that will blend the two ingredients and reduce your final yield. Then let it sit for 12 to 24 hours at room temperature while the alcohol extracts all of those flavor compounds. After steeping, put it in the freezer for 1 to 3 hours until the peanut butter solidifies. This just makes it easier to strain out the fat. I'm left with bourbon that tastes like peanut butter, that's smooth and not greasy. Now, a lot of recipes tell you to skip the room temperature step, but I found you get a much more pronounced flavor if you do use it. This same technique works with any flavorful fat. We really like brown butter, unrefined coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil. The amounts you need to add vary, but the technique is the same. The only difference for a liquid fat like olive oil is you pour it in, give it a gentle swirl, and let the jar rest on its side for your infusing time. This increases the surface area contact, giving you a better infusion. Pop it in the freezer on its side so the fat can solidify, then strain it off. The bourbon's been infused and frozen. Now we need to extract it. Line a fine mesh strainer with a coffee filter and strain. This recipe makes 8 ounces, but it can easily be doubled. Now, let's make that PB&J cocktail. I need 2 ounces of the peanut butter wash bourbon, 1/4 ounce of berry liqueur, I'm using Chambord, and a teaspoon of simple syrup. And I'm going to stir with ice for 30 seconds. And strain over fresh ice. You get this crazy, beautiful cocktail. To really elevate the cocktail, you can add a flavoured rim, but it's totally optional and awesome without it. I use ground freeze-dried berries. So good. It just hits on all those flavours in the right order, and the rim gives you a hint of tartness plus its aroma. Shout out to Teak House for sponsoring this series. Their products are made from sustainably grown teak and designed to last. The 80K Reviews team put their extra large cutting board to the test, and this sturdy board didn't warp, was easy to pick up and move around, and required little maintenance. Fat washing is just one type of infusion. And here's the thing, you're already familiar with infusions. When you make tea, you're making an infusion. That vanilla extract in your cupboard, that's an infusion. A bottle of amaretto is made from infused spirits. Infusion is simply the process of extracting flavour from a solid ingredient into a liquid by steeping. And because alcohol is such a versatile solvent, you can infuse spirits with almost anything. The process couldn't be simpler. Cut what you want to infuse into smallish pieces. This increases its surface area. I'm combining 6 ounces of cantaloupe cut into half-inch pieces with 9 ounces of vodka. It's also really good with white rum. Cap it, then let it sit in a cool, dark place for 3 to 5 days. That's it. For our Cocktails Illustrated book, we tested over 30 different ingredients, fruits, vegetables, herbs and spices, and we figured out the ratios and timings for each one. Here's a fully infused batch. I'm straining it through a fine mesh strainer. And you've got cantaloupe infused vodka that tastes like peak season melon. When we're testing all of our infusions, one of the most surprisingly successful ones was cantaloupe. Even crappy November ones gave an amazingly pure expression of flavour. With such a stellar base, I want to keep this cocktail simple. This is the Melon Dollar Martini. Just 2.5 ounces of the melon vodka and 3/4 teaspoon of orange liqueur. The orange liqueur adds a subtle sweetness, and its citrus aroma really enhances the melon flavour, making it taste even fuller. Stir for a full minute to get it properly chilled and diluted. Garnish with a melon ball if you're feeling extra. Then strain into a chilled cocktail glass. Clean, refreshing, and bursting with melon flavour. You simply can't buy that in a bottle. You might have noticed that the cocktails I've made so far have been very simple, just the infused spirit and a very small amount of another ingredient. This is so we can really taste the effect of our infusion. I've been to loads of bars where they'll add one infused ingredient to the cocktail, but it just gets lost because those effects are quite subtle. For instance, a Negroni made with strawberry infused Campari has been a pretty popular drink for a few years now. There's already so much going on in a Negroni. It's bitter and it's sweet, it's aromatic and it's spirit forward. Adding strawberry to just one component often gets lost among those strong flavours. So instead, I'm building the complete cocktail first. I'm adding 4.5 ounces each of gin, Campari and sweet vermouth. Then I'm adding a cup of quartered strawberries. Cover it and let it sit at room temperature away from direct sunlight for 3 to 5 days. The strawberry flavour needs to be bold to compete with the Negroni's intensity. This one's been infusing for 5 days. See how the strawberries are paler and the liquid a deeper red after the infusion time. Strain it and you've got a remarkably vibrant strawberry Negroni. To serve, just measure out 3 ounces. Stir with ice and strain over fresh ice. Garnish with a fresh strawberry. I'm using the Teak House barboard for this, which is great for when space is at a premium. Its small footprint gives me the right amount of space for making or serving last-minute garnishes. The strawberry flavour comes through beautifully and it doesn't disrupt Negroni's perfect balance. So remember, alcohol and time create extraordinary results. Use them to create bespoke spirits that you simply can't find in any store. Cheers. If you like this episode, you will love our new book, Cocktails Illustrated. It's packed with hundreds of recipes, cocktail science, and explanations like these.